Once upon a time, in the vibrant village of Ngoma, there was a bright young girl named Ngoma. Ngoma was known for her kind heart and big, curious eyes. However, Ngoma faced a big problem. For 7 years, no babies had been born in Ngoma. The villagers were very worried and sad. They believed that something or someone had stolen their future. The village elders held many meetings, trying to find a solution. They visited the wise old woman, Nana, who lived in the deep forest. Nana was famous for her wisdom and magic. After listening to the elders, Nana closed her eyes and spoke in a soft, serious voice. The answer lies with the children, especially the one who sees beyond the ordinary. Ngoma, who often dreamed of talking to animals and magical places, felt a strange connection to Nana's words. She decided to visit Nana alone. Ngoma was brave but also a bit scared. She took a deep breath and stepped into the dark, mysterious forest. The forest was filled with the sounds of birds and rustling leaves. Ngoma followed a narrow path until she reached Nana's little hut. Nana welcomed her with a warm smile, and they sat by the fire. Ngoma told Nana about her dreams and how she felt a strong need to help the village. Nana nodded and said, "Ngoma, you have a gift. Your dreams are not just dreams, they are messages. You must follow them to find the key to our village's future." That night, Ngoma had a vivid dream. She saw a majestic lion with a golden mane standing under a huge baobab tree. The lion spoke to her, "Find me where the river meets the sky. I hold the secret to your village's future." The next morning, Ngoma told her best friend, Kofi, about her dream. Kofi, a cheerful boy with a big smile, believed in Ngoma and decided to help her. Together, they prepared for their journey. They packed some food, water, and a small drum for music. Ngoma and Kofi walked for days, through dense forest and over high hills. They faced many challenges, like crossing a wild river and escaping a storm. But their friendship kept them strong. They finally reached the place where the river met the sky. It was a beautiful spot with sparkling water and a rainbow in the sky. There, under a giant baobab tree, stood the majestic lion from Ngoma's dream. The lion spoke in a gentle voice, "Ngoma, you have shown great courage and kindness. The future of your village depends on you understanding the power of love and unity." Ngoma and Kofi listened carefully as the lion explained that the village needed to come together, love each other, and protect their environment. The lion gave Ngoma a magical necklace with a small, glowing heart pendant. "This necklace will guide you," the lion said. "Use it wisely." Ngoma and Kofi returned to Ngoma and told the villagers about their adventure. At first, some people doubted them, but the elders believed in the power of the magical necklace. They gathered everyone in the village square, and Ngoma shared the lion's message. The villagers started working together, planting trees, cleaning the river, and helping each other. They sang songs of hope and danced around the village square. Ngoma's necklace glowed brighter every day, and soon, the village was filled with joy and laughter. One sunny morning, the sound of a baby's cry echoed through Ngoma. The villagers rushed to see the miracle. A beautiful baby girl was born, bringing hope and happiness back to the village. Ngoma held the baby and whispered, "Welcome to our world. You are our future." Ngoma's journey was just the beginning. The village of Ngoma had many more adventures and lessons to learn. But now, they knew the power of love, unity, and the courage of a young girl who believed in her dreams. From that day on, Ngoma became a beloved hero in Ngoma. Her story inspired the villagers to cherish each other and their environment. The elders often gathered the children around the fire to tell them about Ngoma's bravery and the magical lion. One evening, as the sun set and painted the sky with shades of orange and pink, Ngoma felt a strange tingling from her magical necklace. It glowed softly, pulsing with a gentle light. Ngoma knew this meant another journey awaited her. She gathered Kofi and explained that the necklace had a new message. Kofi, always ready for an adventure, smiled and said, "Let's find out where it leads us, Ngoma." They packed their bags once more and set off into the unknown, guided by the glowing necklace. The necklace led them to a cave hidden behind a waterfall. The cave was dark and mysterious, with only the light from the necklace illuminating their path. As they ventured deeper, they found ancient drawings on the walls depicting stories of old. One drawing showed a powerful creature guarding a treasure that could save villages in times of need. They walked until they reached a chamber filled with sparkling crystals. In the center stood a large stone pedestal, and on it lay an ancient scroll. Ngoma carefully picked up the scroll and unrolled it. The scroll spoke of a legendary phoenix that lived atop Mount Umoja, a mountain far beyond the forest. The phoenix had the power to heal and protect. Ngoma and Kofi knew they had to find the phoenix. They left the cave and began their journey towards Mount Umoja. The path was long and filled with obstacles. They crossed vast deserts, climbed steep cliffs, and navigated through dense jungles. Along the way, they met friendly animals who guided them and shared their wisdom. One night, as they camped under the stars, Ngoma had another dream. This time, the phoenix appeared to her, its feathers shimmering with a golden light. "Ngoma, you are close to finding me," the phoenix said. "But you must prove your worth by solving a riddle at the mountain's peak." The next morning, Ngoma told Kofi about her dream. Together, they continued their journey with renewed determination. They finally reached the base of Mount Umoja. The climb was challenging, but they supported each other and kept moving forward. When they reached the peak, they found a majestic phoenix perched on a rock. The phoenix's eyes glowed with wisdom. It spoke, "Ngoma and Kofi, to prove your worth, answer this riddle. I am not alive, but I grow. I do not have lungs, but I need air. I do not have a mouth, but water kills me. What am I?" Ngoma thought deeply and remembered the lessons from the villagers. With a confident voice, she answered, "You are fire." The phoenix nodded approvingly. "You have shown great wisdom and courage. I will grant you a feather from my wings. Use it to protect your village and spread love and unity." The phoenix gently plucked a feather from its wing and handed it to Ngoma. The feather glowed with a radiant light, filling Ngoma and Kofi with hope and strength. They thanked the phoenix and began their journey back to Ngoma. When they returned, the villagers were overjoyed to see them. Ngoma shared the story of the phoenix and its magical feather. The villagers gathered around, and as Ngoma held up the feather, it released a warm, golden light that spread throughout Ngoma. The crops grew healthier, the rivers flowed clearer, and the people felt a deep sense of peace and unity. Ngoma's adventures continued to inspire the villagers, reminding them that with love, courage, and unity, they could overcome any challenge. And so, the story of Ngoma, the brave girl who held the key to their future, became a timeless legend in the village of Ngoma. As the years passed, Oma grew into a wise and respected young woman. Her adventures had taught her much about courage, love, and unity. The magical necklace and the phoenix feather remained symbols of hope and strength for the village of Ngoma. But Oma knew that the world was full of mysteries, and her journey was far from over. One crisp morning, as Oma was helping her mother in the garden, she noticed a peculiar bird with shimmering blue feathers watching her from a nearby tree. The bird had a small scroll tied to its leg. Oma gently approached the bird, untied the scroll, and read the message, "Come to the Valley of Echoes. The answers you seek await you there." Oma felt a familiar sense of excitement and urgency. She quickly found Kofi, who was busy carving wooden toys for the children. "Kofi, we have a new quest," Oma said, showing him the scroll. Kofi's eyes sparkled with anticipation. "Let's not waste any time, Oma. The Valley of Echoes sounds like an adventure waiting to happen." They prepared for their journey, packing essentials and saying their goodbyes to the villagers. The Valley of Echoes was said to be a place of great mystery, where voices from the past could be heard, and secrets of the future could be revealed. Oma and Kofi set off, guided by the bird with blue feathers, which seemed to lead the way. The journey to the valley was challenging. They trekked through dense forests, crossed wide rivers, and climbed steep hills. Along the way, they encountered strange and wonderful creatures. They met a wise old tortoise who shared stories of ancient times, and a mischievous monkey who taught them the importance of laughter and joy. Finally, they reached the entrance to the Valley of Echoes. The valley was a serene and enchanting place, with lush greenery and a gentle river running through it. As they stepped into the valley, they heard whispers carried by the wind. The whispers seemed to tell stories of bravery, love, and wisdom. In the heart of the valley, they found a crystal-clear lake. Oma's necklace began to glow, and the phoenix feather shimmered with a golden light. They knew they were in the right place. As they stood by the lake, the water began to ripple, and a voice emerged from the depths. "Welcome, Oma and Kofi," the voice said. "I am the guardian of the valley. You have proven yourselves worthy by your past deeds. Now, you must unlock the final secret to bring everlasting peace to your village." The water in the lake swirled, forming an image of a large, ancient tree with golden leaves. "This is the tree of life," the guardian explained. "Its roots hold the wisdom of ages, and its fruits grant the power to heal and unite. To find it, you must listen to the echoes of the valley and follow the path they reveal." Oma and Kofi sat by the lake, closing their eyes and listening intently to the echoes. The whispers told them stories of the village's past, the struggles and triumphs of their ancestors, and the lessons they had learned. As they listened, a clear path began to form in their minds. They followed the path deeper into the valley, guided by the echoes. The journey was filled with trials that tested their courage and determination. They crossed a bridge of light, solved riddles posed by ancient spirits, and faced their deepest fears. At last, they reached a clearing where the magnificent tree of life stood. Its golden leaves shimmered in the sunlight, and its branches seemed to reach out in welcome. Oma and Kofi approached the tree, feeling a profound sense of peace and awe. The guardian's voice echoed around them, "Pluck a fruit from the tree, and take it back to your village. It will bring healing and unity to all who partake in its blessings." Oma carefully plucked a golden fruit from the tree and placed it in her bag. As they turned to leave, the tree of life glowed brightly, and a warm light enveloped them. They felt a deep connection to the valley and its guardian, knowing that they had unlocked a powerful secret that would help their village for generations to come. Oma and Kofi returned to Ngoma, greeted by joyful cheers from the villagers. They gathered everyone in the village square and shared the story of their journey and the tree of life. Oma held up the golden fruit, and its light spread throughout the village, filling everyone with a sense of hope and unity. The villagers shared the fruit, and its magic worked wonders. The sick were healed, crops flourished, and the village prospered like never before. Oma and Kofi's bravery and determination had brought everlasting peace and happiness to Ngoma. As the village celebrated, Oma and Kofi knew that their adventures had not only brought them closer to each other but also to the heart of their village. They had learned that true strength came from unity, love, and the courage to follow their dreams. And so, the legend of Oma and Kofi continued to inspire the people of Ngoma, reminding them that with courage and unity, they could overcome any challenge and create a brighter future for all. As life in Ngoma flourished, Oma and Kofi continued to grow in wisdom and strength. They became known as the village protectors, always ready to help and guide anyone in need. The golden fruit from the tree of life had transformed Ngoma into a paradise of abundance and joy, but Oma and Kofi knew there were still many mysteries in the world to uncover. One day, while exploring the outskirts of the village, Oma and Kofi stumbled upon an old, weathered map hidden inside a hollow tree. The map was intricately detailed, showing distant lands and ancient symbols. At the center of the map was a symbol of a great sun, and beside it, a note written in a language they had never seen before. Oma's necklace began to glow faintly, indicating that this discovery was significant. They decided to seek Nana's wisdom once again. Oma and Kofi made their way to the deep forest where Nana lived, carrying the old map with them. Nana welcomed them warmly and examined the map closely. Her eyes widened with recognition. "This map," she said, "leads to the land of eternal sun, a place of great power and mystery. It is said that those who seek the sun's heart can unlock the secrets of time itself." Oma and Kofi felt a surge of excitement and curiosity. "We must go there," Oma said determinedly. Nana nodded but cautioned them. "The journey will be perilous, and the land of eternal sun is guarded by powerful forces. You must be prepared for anything." With Nana's blessing and guidance, Oma and Kofi prepared for their most challenging adventure yet. They packed their bags with supplies, including the phoenix feather and the magical necklace. The villagers gathered to wish them well, knowing that their brave protectors were embarking on another important quest. Their journey took them through lands they had never seen before. They crossed vast deserts where the sun blazed fiercely and climbed mountains that touched the sky. Along the way, they faced numerous challenges. They had to outwit cunning desert foxes, navigate through treacherous canyons, and brave fierce sandstorms. One evening, as they camped under the stars, Oma dreamt of a golden eagle with piercing eyes. The eagle spoke to her, "Oma, the land of eternal sun is close, but you must prove your worth by passing the trials of light. Only then can you reach the sun's heart." The next morning, Oma shared her dream with Kofi. Together, they pressed on, guided by the eagle that appeared in the sky, leading them to a hidden valley surrounded by towering cliffs. At the entrance of the valley, they found an ancient stone archway with inscriptions that glowed with a soft, golden light. As they stepped through the archway, they were enveloped in a warm, radiant glow. They had entered the land of eternal Sunday. The valley was breathtaking, filled with lush greenery, sparkling streams, and flowers that seemed to glow with their own light. In the distance, a magnificent palace of gold and crystal stood, shining brilliantly in the eternal sunlight. However, before they could reach the palace, they had to face the trials of light. The first trial was the trial of knowledge. A wise old owl perched on a tree asked them riddles about the world, nature, and the stars. Ngoma and Kofi used their combined wisdom to answer the riddles correctly, and the owl granted them passage. The second trial was the trial of courage. They had to cross a bridge made of pure light that seemed to disappear with each step. Ngoma and Kofi held hands, encouraging each other with every step, and made it safely across the bridge. The final trial was the trial of heart. They found themselves in a garden where a beautiful, sorrowful melody played. The melody revealed their deepest fears and doubts. Ngoma and Kofi had to confront and overcome these inner shadows, proving their unwavering love and commitment to their village and each other. With the trials behind them, Ngoma and Kofi approached the palace. The golden eagle reappeared and guided them to the heart of the palace, where they found a magnificent, glowing orb, the sun's heart. The orb pulsed with ancient energy, and as they reached out to touch it, they were filled with immense knowledge and power. The sun's heart spoke to them, "You have proven yourselves worthy. Take my light and use it to guide your village and protect the future." Ngoma and Kofi took a fragment of the sun's heart, its light merging with the phoenix feather and the magical necklace. They knew they had gained a powerful tool to help Ngoma and other villages far beyond. As they made their way back to Ngoma, they felt a profound sense of accomplishment and purpose. The journey had not only strengthened their bond but also their resolve to protect and uplift their village. Upon their return, the villagers welcomed them with open arms and eager hearts. Ngoma and Kofi shared their incredible journey and the power of the sun's heart. They used its light to heal, teach, and bring everlasting prosperity to Ngoma and the surrounding lands. Ngoma and Kofi's adventures became legendary, teaching generations the values of bravery, wisdom, and love. And though they had accomplished much, Ngoma and Kofi knew that as long as there were mysteries in the world, their journey would continue, always guided by the light of the sun's heart and the power of their unbreakable friendship. Years passed, and Ngoma and Kofi's legacy grew even stronger. The village of Ngoma prospered, not just from the blessings of the magical necklace, phoenix feather, and the sun's heart, but from the unity and love that Ngoma and Kofi had fostered among their people. One day, as Ngoma and Kofi sat under the shade of the old baobab tree where their adventures had begun, they reflected on their incredible journey. "We've come so far," Kofi said, smiling at Ngoma. "And there's still so much more to discover." Ngoma nodded, her eyes shining with the wisdom of their many adventures. "The world is full of wonders and mysteries. But no matter where our paths take us, Ngoma will always be our home." As the sun set, casting a golden glow over the village, the children gathered around Ngoma and Kofi, eager to hear their stories. Ngoma began, "Once upon a time, in a village called Ngoma, a young girl and her best friend set out on a journey." The children listened with wide eyes, their imaginations sparked by tales of bravery, wisdom, and magic. Ngoma and Kofi's stories inspired them to dream big and believe in the power of love and unity. That night, as the village celebrated around a roaring fire, singing songs and dancing under the stars, Oma and Kofi knew that their legacy would live on in the hearts of the villagers. And so, dear friends, the tale of Oma and Kofi comes to a close, but their spirit lives on in every act of kindness, every adventure, and every dream. Remember, with courage and unity, we can overcome any challenge and create a brighter future for all. If you enjoyed this story and want to hear more adventures of Oma, Kofi, and the magical village of Ngoma, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Join us as we continue to explore new worlds, face exciting challenges, and discover the magic that lies within us all. Thank you for watching, and until next time, keep dreaming and believing in the magic of love and unity.
It's a metaphorical representation of what happens when you don't subscribe to channels you enjoy. You miss out on the content you love, and it's as though tiny spiders of missed opportunities crawl all over you. So don't let this be your reality. Don't let the spiders of missed content take over. Hit that subscribe button now and keep those metaphorical spiders at bay.